Okay, now here's where I say, think of the odds. Theo Epstein really has been about the worst thing to happen in the sport management industry, because now everyone thinks they can get a general manager job at the age of 28. But I think you have to play the odds, okay? And some of you may want to be a general manager, and that's fine. But anybody know who these two gentlemen are? Nobody? They're the 2 U.S. senators in Vermont. You know, when I have people come in and say, I want to be general manager of the Boston Red Sox, you know what I say to them? I say, you sure it's just the Red Sox? You wouldn't want to be Cubs or Yankees or Mets? No, just the Red Sox. I said, well, why don't you be a U.S. senator? He goes, oh, I can't be a U.S. senator. That's too hard to get. Well, there's 100 U.S. senators and there's 30 general managers in baseball. So it's actually easier. It's actually easier to be a U.S. senator, but no one knows these people. So, you have to figure out the likelihood, and you have to have a backup plan, because the odds of getting one of those 30 slots is very difficult. Now, the other thing to think about is risk. If you go into some of these things that are new and developing, you're taking a risk. Here's one of our alums, Tom Medeiros, who's one of my advisees. He went 2 places, North American Soccer League, New Jersey Generals. Okay? I think he went to Enron after that, because they all went belly up. Okay, and he ended outside of sports in the investment industry. Okay? But then take another one. Wade Martin, one of our alums from a few years ago. He went to Octagon, then ran the X Games for Octagon. And then after doing that, he was hired by NBC to set up the Do Tour. And Professor McDonald's run some practicums and internships with them. Wade Martin has been very successful, and this is an industry that's worked out. And as a result of that, at a very young age, in the early 30s, he was president of that company. Okay, so these new ventures and things that are a little bit off the charts can also have quicker and higher returns if they come true. Okay, networking, very, very important. Okay, you have built-in UMass alumni. And we have a database, okay, which you're allowed to access with our alumni. Conferences are very important. I know a number of you in ADS are going to the MIT one this weekend. Internships that I've talked about are very important, work experiences, and the volunteer work. But that's how you meet other people and people in the industry. You need mentors. These were my 2. But you need someone to speak up on your behalf. When you put that resume in, and there are 100, 200, 1,000 resumes for a position, you need someone to pick up the phone and say, you know, you really got to look at Joe. You really got to look at Mary. Okay? I know her. She's very, very good. Okay? You need someone to do that. Might be a faculty member here. Might be someone who's running Soccer Fest. Might be your professor in your sports law class. Okay? And even more importantly, it can be someone who you work for on your internship or your first job or in a volunteer opportunity. Education, I think, is very important. I know it's early, but I think one of the things I want to say to you is put in the back of your mind, even as undergraduates, think of a graduate degree at some point in the future. Okay? Look at some of these guys. Mike Slive and Scott Boris both have law degrees. Two of our alums, Sandy Barber, AD at UCal Berkeley, Patty Viverito, Commissioner of the Missouri Valley Football Conference, both have graduate degrees. Okay, last rule. Get John on here. Planning. You need to do 1, 5, and 10-year plans. Now, one of the changes that I've made in the book, in the new version, is I have put forms in there so that you can go out and fill these things out to help you with your planning process. It wasn't in the first version. Okay, so there are examples. Here's a 1-year plan. Here's longer-term plans on a 5- and 10-year basis. Here's something in terms of assessing, helping you assess various internship opportunities. And then I think what you need to do with those is you have to prioritize. Whenever I speak to anyone, I say, okay, I've heard everything you told me about, now tell me what order. Because what I believe in is starting at the top. You should be going after your top choice, and if it doesn't work out, then drop down to your second, third, fourth, fifth. Problem if you change that, you get an offer from your fifth choice, you're thinking, well, what's going to happen with the first one? Am I going to get that offer or not? So you need to prioritize and then pursue things in a priority order.